there. That's a setting, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's saying
Wait,
you are
I see an
live.
edit button up here. Hold on. Oh, here I got an edit button. Hold on. But if it's okay, I'm switching it from private.
We're live.
We all live.
Yeah, but we were private live though.
Well,
we were live for the 4 of us, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I just saw it. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
All right. They're running a commercial. They're running a commercial.
Oh, look, here's the comments.
It's coming through live.
Yeah.
Warren says we're live. I'm seeing it on my screen.
Okay.
I mean, we're live now, but not until I hit not until I hit the public button. We were live for the 4 of us before that.
Lauren says he can't see us.
Yeah, Lauren.
Well, that's maybe a Canadian thing.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
Yeah.
All right.
So, well, listen here, guys. We're live to at least some people here.
Okay.
We do have a chat tonight, so that's good. But okay.
Hey, we're live in Ireland. We know that.
That's something to say about. What's
There's the chat. There we go. We got it.
Real here.
Hey, Josh. How you doing?
DroneNation for April 14th, 2025. And the title of this show is Tax Day Refunds Are for Drones. And tomorrow was tax day. Now, I'm sure everybody in this panel got their taxes done months ago and probably have big, fat refund checks on the way. But I know I think Ray used that big check when that Mavic 3 Pro he just got the test flight. We would talk about that in a little while here, too. So I do one note before we get going too far today. Our good compadre, Coach DeMarco Moore, he's coaching baseball tonight, so he won't be part of the show today. I don't believe, unless he pops in, from second base or something like that. But DeMarco will return to the show next week. So we have our special guests, Ray Kelly and Johnnie DroneFlyer today. And of course, Marcus and I are back from our 1 week hiatus of traveling back from the great state of Florida. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. We are going to get to a kind of a recap of the South Florida Drone Meetup. I know a lot of people already have their videos out already. I'm enjoying them. So we're going to kind of just verbally recap it here a little bit. And then, of course, Johnnie wants to talk about the new V-Copter Mini that got released kind of in the midst of all the kind of pre-drone meetup excitement here. So we want to cover that in a little bit of detail. Plus, we got some other, little stories to cover along, some DJI news and the kind of stuff we always talk about. So I think we'll have a good show tonight. Marcus, is it good to be back at the home base?
It is. It's amazing how much work you have to do when you get home. And I'm sure Captain Ray can relate to that when you get back to New York. Same thing here. I mean, it just, everything piles up. But we're digging out. And poor Sarah she's still quite ill. So she didn't survive the meetup very well. But
I'm calling that the meetup plague. And of course, Ray.
No COVID, though. No COVID, right, Marcus?
No, she did not have COVID, and she did not have strep, which
not the day they tested, at least. Now, Ray, you were one of the first ones to report a positive COVID test, right?
Yeah. I went to the doctor, and they gave me the test, and came back positive. I avoided it all these years, but it finally got me. Then a couple of days later, Cheryl got it. So and I'm negative now. I did my test this morning. I'm negative, but she's still positive. So, But thank you for all the good wishes. I appreciate it from everybody. But I'm back to normal now.
Good. I got very sick on the way home. Actually, I think I started feeling it as early as Saturday, definitely Sunday, and I got pretty sick. Now, I didn't get the test till I got home, so I was negative then, but I could have been positive, a day or two before. But I'm remarkably, I've recovered pretty good already.
How's Susan?
Susan, she of course she got it too. Maybe she's about 24 hours behind me, so she went back to the hospital today. So she's feeling better too. So we did a lot better job of getting over it than we did two years ago when the same thing happened. But I blame that in the Space Center. That had nothing to do with the meetup that year. Marcus and Susan, I went to the Space Center after the meetup a couple of years back. But Johnnie, you kind of survived this whole drone plague with unscathed,
Yeah,
right?
but hey, just attending the meetup, I know, talking to everybody, talked to Marcus, of course, talked to Ray on the way home and everybody, and Ken Hallbauer, and just so many people while you're driving were calling me and stuff. But, just attending the meetup and the next couple of days after, I tell you what, you're beat, man. It's, I mean, I didn't do nothing but drive 12 hours. I mean, it's not like hard work, but I'll tell you what, the next day I was dragging. But no, I didn't have any symptoms of that. I did have a headache that morning. I was kind of oh my God, I'll be catching the COVID. But no, I did not, and everything's fine here. So, but yeah, the meetup was incredible, and I tell you what, could have been a better time. The weather was perfect. I mean, it was great.
We're going to jump into a little bit more detail on that, but I got a couple quick stories to run here through. DJI has an Easter Specials going on right now. We got the email today. Anybody subscribed to DJI, but I kind of went through it. A lot of the key items that people be interested in, such as the Air 3S, were out of stock, and that was many things that you'd be interested in were labeled out of stock. So I'm guessing that's for people looking at it from the U.S. Probably if you looked at it from a foreign country, it wouldn't be out of stock, foreign country, as opposed to the U.S. So that's unfortunate that out of stock issue continues when you're trying to order popular products from the mothership markets.
Well, I got a question for you, Ron. We know that that they changed their mind on some of the tariffs on electronics, for instance, iPhones and things like that. Computer parts are going to get past the tariff. It doesn't sound like drones are part of that equation. That clearly is got. I guess what I'm trying to say here is if you want something, I would probably get it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that's great advice. I mean, I looked, of course, this afternoon, the prices were like $10.99 for the Air 3S, which it should be. But the thing is, the bad part of that advice is you want them, but you can't get them because they're out of stock.
Yeah, and again, I'm with you. I wonder if that is not something that they put on there just for certain countries, right?
Right, because we've got reports before where people spoofed it and came into a server from another country, or Canadians have told us that everything's fine at their, when they look from their end.
Right. So,
I mean, who knows what all this means, but it doesn't bode well for the Mavic 4 Pro. But things change by the day, as well as the tariffs change by the day. So
yeah, because that out of stock was on there about a month ago, and then everything went back in stock, and now it's back out of stock. So it's definitely something.
Yeah. Why send that email out to all your subscribers in the U.S. and have basically all the popular items out of stock?
Yeah, and we're just second guessing. We want to make it clear that this panel right here, we don't know anything. We're just shooting the breeze, really.
We call that speculating.
Yeah.
So
well, I have to say, I bought this Mavic 3 Pro through Whoop.com, and I got it within 2 days.
Yeah, Captain Ray, that was a score, man.
Guess what? I got a follow-up story here. Woot had the same sale yesterday. Woot had the Mavic 3 Pro on sale for the same price yesterday, like 16 something.
Really?
It sold. Of course, it sold out, but they had it again yesterday. Now, Ray, you may have been a wise man. Why I say that is, like I only had the Mavic 3. If I'm not going to be able to get the Mavic 4 because of either out of stock or stuck in customs or it costs triple the price because of tariffs, I probably should have got that Mavic 3 Pro, being that may be the most advanced Mavic I'll ever be able to buy in my lifetime.
Yeah.
They actually have the Flamore combo right now. The Mavic 3 Pro.
Yeah, and that was pretty pricey there, Johnny. That was in the 3,000 something.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And I don't need all the batteries and controller and all that because I got all that stuff already.
True. Yep. Yeah, true.
The kit Ray got, that comes with the old DJI RC1 controller, which is kind of slow by modern standards or whatever.
It is amazing. I used it the other day. What was I flying? Anyway, I was flying something that I needed that controller.
I like it. I like it.
It works great, Ray, but I was just stunned by how much slower it is than the RC2. It's a noticeable difference, I guess, what I'm saying.
Is it?
Yeah.
So, Ray, tell us a little bit. You know, you've had it for a while. You had it when I was down in Florida, but you didn't know what you were going to do with it. But you broke it out today and put it through its paces, right? At secret spot number 1.
Well, yeah, I did. I decided to open it and check it out, make sure it was in the box, not a brick. You know, you never know.
And it actually worked. Yeah.
But no, I did all my firmware updates, charged up the batteries, and registered it. You know, got my State Farm insurance, and then I took it, like you said, the secret spot number 1, and that's Lakeside Park right here in North Palm Beach. And I tell you, I don't usually fly over the intercoastal on the first maiden flight, but after I had it up there, within 3 minutes, I was out over the intercoastal.
Well, that big old zoom, that zoom, man, you'll be finding turtles everywhere now.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy. We're very pleased. Got to get used to the sticks. The sticks are totally different than the sticks on my Mavic 3, but I'll get used to them, or maybe I'll adjust them. Yeah.
Right. Well, congratulations. You were probably wise. I probably ordered that thing too, whatever, because I could have, sold the controller, my old Mavic 3, and it probably wouldn't cost much. If it comes back again, I may have to consider that thing.
That's a good deal. Great deal.
Yeah. I'm happy. Pleased.
Okay. April 16th, which is Wednesday of this week, DJI has their Light Up the Night event scheduled for April 16th, 8 a.m. Reach loud and clear. This should be the spotlight and the speaker modules for the Matrice series of drones. And Igor has, since I wrote this today, Igor has already uploaded the promo video for it. He even said DJI is like slipping here that they let the promo video leak out already. But here we go.
Ron, rumor is Johnny's going to get one of those to scare the college girls.
That's on Twitter too, probably.
Hey, that's
great. That's
Al right there. I'll get one of them. He loves that speaker.
Yeah.
There we go. One more time. Nice hard case.
I see that.
That's a big drone. That is a big drone. Well, I don't know if you guys know, but John Gregory has the Matrice 4E. 4T, rather. I'm sorry, 4T, the thermal. Yeah.
John does a lot of enterprise work.
Yeah, no, not really. But he had the Mavic 3 thermal, and he loved that, but he decided to upgrade.
Okay. Should have had him on the show.
He's looking towards his retirement future, though. That's what I think.
He's a young man. But anyhow, so that's apparently what the big event is on Wednesday. So I think Marcus will agree with me. It won't be a DroneNation launch party that morning. We're not getting up that early for
not this Mohican.
Yeah, I know, but you always say you're a drone enthusiast, but not that enthusiastic. Yeah,
I'm a hobby drone enthusiast.
Yeah, there you go.
Consumer drone enthusiast.
There you go. So, okay, that's what's coming this Wednesday, folks. And then I saw this, one of the people, a non-drone guy I saw did this. He was at the NAB event, I believe it was in Las Vegas last week. That's the National Association of Broadcasters. It's a big event every year in Vegas. And he looked around. There were no DJI drones at the event this year. But there were DJI cameras, mics, gimbals. It was a whole bunch of DJI products there, but no drones. Not even the Aspire 3, which you would think would be, just got approved recently for Netflix. So, that means that, you could film a Netflix series or movie with a Aspire 3. It's been approved now, but it wasn't at the event. So does that mean anything that DJI they were present at an event?
I don't think they were there last year with drones. I don't think they were there last year with drones either.
Okay.
Yeah,
my son actually worked it. He was working in the NASA area.
Okay. Well. So
I saw Bob Dempsey running around. He put up a couple of photos that he was there.
Yeah. We should have Bob hunting out these drones. Well, apparently there weren't none to see, but not a big story there. But just thought we would mention that here. Let's see. Let me get another graphic going here. Here we go. Here's kind of a big story here for a lot of us. Now we see so much of this stuff here. This is our good friend Jasper posted this. Of course, he's working for our other friend here over Drone XL. Apparently the DJI Mavic 4 Pro is now delayed until May 13th. This is according to Jasper, and it's a whole article here explaining all the details and so on. We originally thought it was going to be released on the 24th, which is just next week. But again, apparently, according to these leaks, were pushed back to the 13th. He talks all about this is a letter that was sent out to the early kind of reviewers and testers here. So that's what this thing is with all the red stuff highlighted up there. Marcus, any thoughts or comments on this supposed delay?
Well, I've heard through the grapevine that there are some developmental issues with it, that there have been potentially some lost drones. Okay. So that could be an issue. I also heard that Canadian suppliers are having trouble getting supplied. So when we look at the U.S. DJI drones, I guess it's not just us. It's Canada, North America, I suppose, Canada as well.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Ray, any thoughts on this?
No. I just think it has to do with all this customs issue. Maybe they're trying to work it out. I don't know. But it's a sad state of affairs, that's for sure. But again, if there's any technical issues, I know DJI would want to clear them up rather than sending out faulty drones, where they're going to receive a lot of complaints.
That note is to their Chinese testers. So I would say that it's probably not a customs issue. It's probably an issue with the product.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because I think of course these are international releases. This drone will be released regardless of whether they can be shipped to the U.S. or not.
Yeah, thinking about it. Yeah.
Johnny, any thoughts on this supposed delay?
Well, it's kind of disheartening. I don't know where we're staying. Just like we said a little while ago, it seemed like they kind of worked out the stock issues, but now that they're getting these releases and or getting these statements on it, so we don't even know if anybody in the U.S. has test units yet and stuff. So I don't know. Even this May 13th date, to me it might be released, but the U.S. it'll be released. That the U.S. won't be available at all to get. That's just my personal opinion at this date.
Or they keep pushing the goalpost back.
Yeah.
Well, they do want to have the influencers, be able to test them and make their reviews on them before they actually release it. So
yeah, that's a good point, Ray, because even the U.S. influencers, like your Ken Notos, your Billy Kyles, and so on, their videos are watched by a lot of people in foreign countries also. So it's important for DJI that the big American reviewers do review it, even if it can't be sold in the U.S.
Yeah.
And we heard rumors that there were some reviewers that were traveling up to Canada to get their review units.
Okay, you heard that rumor too, huh? Mm-hmm. Well, then Lauren must know. How do you like it, Lauren?
Yeah, how's it flying up there? But when the good news is, though, side, a couple of Mavic 4 Pro promos have leaked out just in the past couple of days. There's one we even see the box in. So let me stop. Let me play some of these.
I saw that.
Oh yeah, here's one. This is the good one right here. Hold on. Let me get this. Share it up here.
I know nothing. I know nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what TechSarch Drone Guy means by that either.
Okay, here we go. Here we go, folks. Well, there's even the box.
Mm-hmm.
See, put on little stickers over it. Well, Mavic 4 Pro, we kept wondering about that Pro word. There's the controller. It looks like our DJI RC. There's got a good number going.
Yeah, it's just hard to tell with all the AI
Hey,
stuff.
look, here's that thing we talked about. It does have that, like the gimbals do, that rotating all the way around. I guess that's the first drone we know that has that move the gimbal tab, the camera gimbal. There's Johnnie on his mic there.
Yeah. From the Stingray. With the banana seat.
Hey, John Cuppy, how you doing?
I think I got one more coming here. If I can ever stop that one here. Let's see, maybe it's this one here. I'm gonna stop that other one.
Buckeye Rick says that's the wrong controller, probably fake.
Well, to that point, it is the RC2 controller, it looks like.
That's nice. I like cherry blossom.
I do. It looks like maybe this one's in Japan.
And Lauren's making a comment.
So Lauren says multiple controllers.
Yeah, so that was the next thing I was going to say is we'll probably have an opportunity for an RC Pro, and we've seen some pictures that looked interesting with a screen on top and more of a older style looking controller.
Yeah, kind of collapsible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That'd be pretty nice. Somebody actually made some comments on that. So yeah.
But pretty nice, probably pretty nice price though, Johnny.
Yeah, I would say probably $1,200 to $1,500. I would guess in that range just for that.
For the controller. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, prices haven't went up drastically on everything they released in the last couple of years, but that's going to be a brand new. A brand new controller.
Bob recognized that castle in that drone shop with the cherry blossoms. Osaka Castle.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah,
I love the architecture in China, Japan. Really beautiful.
Yeah.
I
would, of course, I would hope that the Mavic 4 Pro would run on the DJI RC, 2 controller. That way, if you don't have all the money to get the whole kit at one time, you can just get the drone with a decent controller. Well, that's a very decent controller, and then maybe upgrade down the road to that Pro controller. That you don't have to go right. Well, actually, usually what they do is it comes with a little cheap controller, so it'd be real nice if it came with the RC2 rather than the real the DJI RC whatever generation we're on now.
You won't see a basic controller with it. I think the bottom controller will be the RC2.
Yeah,
that would be perfect. Yep.
Yeah. No way.
I love the DJI RC Pro, and it's the best controller. But you know what? Like, if it's versus getting everything for $2,200 or getting that Pro controller in a package that's $4,000 or whatever, I think I can make do with the other, the regular controller.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like Marcus. There won't be no N type controller. In 1 or 2 or 3. I mean, I don't think that'll be available at all. It'll be an RC2 or something, maybe even an RC, a different version of an RC.
Could be.
I want to shout out my new friend JAA. That's Joseph. We met him at the meetup almost 2 weekends ago now. And Joseph is from St. Kitts. And of course, Marcus is the newest.
I didn't realize that.
Visit St. Kitts.
Yeah. No, and actually, he's been at the meetup for a couple of years now. I remember seeing him last year too.
We just didn't know about the St. Kitts connection.
We didn't know the St. Kitts connection. We did not. Yeah. Yeah.
And you see there, he's local to Fort Lauderdale, so you know.
How did you like flying in St. Kitts, Marcus? Not to get off the subject.
Good. Yeah, no, yeah, we had a good time. Well, truthfully, all those islands, for the most part, were very friendly. There were a couple of places we had. Well, we knew we couldn't fly on Barbados, so we didn't even try. However, I have to tell you, when you're flying those islands, it's what flying drones is all about. I mean, you get some amazing, beautiful spots. You got beaches, you got rocks, you got mountains, you've got lush green territory. You know, it's made for drones.
And even before you left, you were in Puerto Rico. There, that one beach.
Yeah, Marchiquita.
I have that on my list. Yeah, I put it on my list. Yeah, Deneen Pagan is there now.
Oh, really? Deneen is there? Well, Jay Santiago is who took us there, right? He and his wife Evelyn. Bob Dempsey had a van rented, and Jay drove. He piled us all in there at the hotel, and we spent 2 or 3 hours out there, and it was really cool.
The little ocean, right, Marcus?
Little ocean, yeah, little sea.
We all need to do a little meetup down there sometime, Marcus.
It'd be a great spot.
Yeah,
Marcus, you got a question there?
Yeah, Jim Anderson's got a question for you, Marcus.
Yeah, so that was actually pretty straightforward, and Audrey Dempsey actually set that up for us with the cruise company, Virgin Cruise, and we just basically checked them in with security when we got on the ship, and as we got off at each location, they gave us a receipt. We'd hand them the receipt. They'd hand our drones to us, and what we all did is we gave them just the drone. We'd keep the batteries and the controllers with us. That way you can charge batteries and do all those things that you want to do. And all they had was the actual drone itself.
And you did not have to get any special permission, like from the local FAA on these different islands?
We looked at regulations on all the islands, and the only one that, there was 2 of them. St. Lucia had regulations, although in retrospect, we kind of wish we'd have flown there anyway. We figured it out a couple days before, and Bob and I emailed applications in to their ministry, and we never heard back. However, what we saw when we were on the island was a lot of people flying drones.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
On St. Lucia. And I really don't think they cared. I'll be honest with you. I think it's one of those things they put up and they
low priority.
Very low, I would say. It would be like having a dog off a leash or something, Captain Ray. Nothing too crazy.
So you saw all the drones flying. That's pretty
good. We saw a lot of other drones flying, and so we all kind of regretted that we didn't do it. Now we knew at Barbados for sure you cannot fly without their military actually has to approve it. So we didn't even try.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
But all the other islands,
and I keep telling Marcus, nothing to see in Barbados. It's a rock. Most of the islands you went to were tops of volcanoes, beautiful tropical things. Barbados is just a rock.
I'm gonna let Johnnie answer the Bob Casey's question. I'll put it up, Ron.
The T-shirt.
Well, those shirts those are Mr. Ron Browns and Marcus and DeMarco there. So,
but Bob, when we get a shirt, you'll be one of the first ones to get one.
So let's give credit.
That's what he told me 3 years ago.
Well, you're number
hey,
one.
I don't have one. I got paid to wear this tonight, Bob Casey.
Listen, I want to give credit where credit is due. Ron and I have, and DeMarco, we have DroneNation shirts because our good friend, Johnnie DroneFlyer, out of the goodness of his heart, made them for us. And he made them on his nickel, just out of the goodness of his heart. And I want to publicly thank Johnnie for that. Thank you very much.
Johnnie.
And one more point real quick here. One of the things that I tried to do with Mr. Ron Brown, when I cornered him at the meetup, was trying to convince him we maybe could put together a T-shirt shop for DroneNation. I think we'd probably Anyway, I think it'd be fairly popular.
Thousands of them. You'll be a millionaire before you know it.
Yeah, there you go. Hey.
Ron. Yeah.
So, well, I have to say, Jeremy did an excellent job on the South Florida Drone Meetup shop. Really, kudos to Jeremy. I don't know how to do that. Maybe we need to get our shirts at Jeremy's shop. Yeah, but he did a great job.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Jeremy, for
having that lawn there.
You did for
hang on. I got to put that one up. Here we go.
So it's hard. I called Lauren. I called Lauren on the way driving back home, and I said, it's hard. You should have really been to meetup because your name was brought up a few times, and it wasn't nothing too good.
Was there anything with the initials SOB after it?
Well, he definitely, he said, no, y'all would never talk about me. I said, no.
We love you, Lauren. We do.
We'll have to get Lauren back on the list.
We missed you, Lauren. We missed you. Come back in 2026, please.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah. Okay, well, a big event happened while we were all down there, or at least a lot of us were down there. I have on a Thursday morning. I don't know my dates here, but I'm going to roll the little video here, and we'll get Johnny's thoughts once I run this video here. Here we go.
Was that at Starbucks, Ron?
For many years, drones have been made mostly the same way with a 4-propeller design. But birds fly with only 2 wings. Could a drone fly with only 2 propellers? Introducing the new V-Copter Falcon Mini. Quadcopters rely on 4 balance points to stay stable. This gives it static stability. But with only 2 points of support, it would naturally swing like a pendulum. So how did we stabilize it? By adjusting the propeller angles and applying a counteracting tilt force, we can maintain its balance and achieve stable flights. This is how the Falcon Mini stabilizes itself with our proprietary tilt rotor technology, using 2 servo motors beneath the propellers. The purpose-built control system features high-accuracy sensors and a precisely engineered gearing mechanism.
Johnny designed that whole system.
0.01-degree rotor angle precision and advanced flight algorithms.
I never saw this video.
Yeah, you learn from it. But Johnny, you are the
continuously adjusts its posture in real time, providing ultra-stable flight. It's so stable that you can place a coin on top and it won't fall off.
I don't know about that.
But there's more. Falcon Mini can accelerate faster than traditional quadcopters, reaching 12 meters per second in just 3.2 seconds. Falcon Mini also comes with a DIY toolkit, so you can set it up for reverse flight. You can even pull aerobatic moves like the 1-foot spin and 2-foot spin. With 2 less motors and 2 fewer arms, the V-Copter's propulsion system is streamlined and efficient. It's also surprisingly quiet. The V-Copter has a lower noise profile due to larger props running at a lower RPM. Plus, it features a 4K camera, 3-axis gimbal, 34-minute flight time, and 1.5-mile transmission, all packed into a 249 grams design. Available in canary yellow and matte black colors. Are you ready for a whole new way to fly? Visit us at vcopter.com.
Well, Johnny, I have to say, you sold me, man. I flew yours again, and I was sold on it. So I had to buy one that same day.
It's an interesting concept, and I of course, a lot of drone companies, put a lot of stuff on boxes, but the V-Copter is just fun to fly. I know Marcus, Ron, and everybody. I brought it to South Florida again, let a lot of people fly it. It is very agile. It's fun to fly. I think they still haven't given, I don't know, I think it said 12 megapixel pictures, But I think it'll be a great little drone if you got in on it early. Now, will you get it June the 1st? You know, I don't know about that. I really doubt it, but I think you will get it. I had on Drones and Coffee yesterday, had Jack from Half Chrome actually came on and showed it, and he showed us some video yesterday morning. The props are very flexible, which, you know, may it's kind of like back the Paradanafi was like that, I believe, right, Marcus? Was the props were pretty flexible.
They were, yeah.
And you know, that would make it, you know, the sound a little bit a little quieter. But yeah, if it does, you know, what does, I'm not so sure about he did say about the rotating. Of course, you would have to hand launch that thing, and it does void your warranty when you fly it upside down. He said, you know, that was one of the comments they made. But yeah, it's coming out, and I think it's going to be a fun drone. You know.
And Johnny, is it true that it was only $199 on the Indiegogo launch thing?
Yeah, and that was, of course, the first one to sell out. That portion of it is sold out. First I think they have about 30 or 40 of the next group, which is $249. I think they have 5 different options. I believe.
Yeah, right. $249 now.
What I can say about 00 Robotics from flying their little selfie drone, the
Hover
X1, whatever, Pro Max.
Pro Max. We'll just say we'll short it to Pro Max, Marcus.
Well, okay, here's the full name: the Hover Air X1 Pro Max. But what I can say is they are a serious drone manufacturer, more serious than we see with some of the other. Like I could compare them to Hubsan. There's a lot of quality that goes into a 00 Robotics product that I have not seen on. I'm not saying they're perfect. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're perfect, but it appears that they're putting a lot of effort into making a quality product, much like DJI does. Now, the service after the sale, I've seen people complain about that. I have no experience with it. Have you, Johnny?
You know, I had actually, it was kind of interesting. I had a prop that I wanted to change, and of course it was a Phillip heads in there, and it was, the screwdriver was probably the cheapest thing, you know, on there, and it started breaking the tip. So Matt and I had to actually drill that screw out. But so I know this one, I think it has some torque head screws to take those screws out to do that. Props and invert it. I don't know how many times I'd want to do that, but you know, and even an FPV drone, when you start unscrewing it, you know, you can't tighten down the motors a lot now, so you have to be careful. But yeah, hey, I think it'll be a great, a little different type drone. I mean, Marcus, y'all all for it, Ron. It's just it's unique. I think they're hitting the market at a time where maybe, you know, with DJI, you know, being saying out of stock, or they don't know what's happening. Of course, you know, the time frame on this, Marcus, you saw this original V-Copter in what, 2020, I think it was.
2020. It was at
at
the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas.
CES.
CES.
I know one thing about, if I don't like the way it handles, it will be donated to the South Florida Drone Meetup for next year.
Now, it'll fly. I mean, Marcus, y'all, we've all flown it here now, and it's very spot on. I mean, yeah, does it swing when you stop it and hit the brakes? I would say it kind of tilts back, but the gimbal is very steady on it.
Yeah, you never notice that looking at the video. Yeah. The other thing that surprised me, Johnny, and I just posted a video the other day with it. The video quality is quite good. Better than I thought it would be. I will say that.
Yeah, we didn't do any of the active tracks. Now, you know, the big one has obstacle avoidance, and now the little one doesn't. You know, it has some. I think it does have a couple. I'm not so sure about if it has an intelligent flight modes. I think it does.
Johnny, when we flew it last weekend at the meetup, I thought the obstacle avoidance was kind of a hindrance on the thing. I think it'd be better off without obstacle.
Well, I usually turn it off when I fly it, because it'll pick up something pretty far ahead. And and you have to
remember we had a lot of memories of slow flying, and you pointed out that was the obstacle avoidance that had it flying slow.
Yeah. And you can actually only have that. You can cut it off doing return home, or you can turn it off while you fly. So there's a whole bunch of settings in there. Just, you know,
Marcus, your video on that was excellent. I really.
Oh, well, thank you.
I gave you a lot of credit, man. You took it right out over the ocean, and I'm saying, wow, look at this.
It was a fun video to make. I'll tell you.
We had a lot of fun putting that together, didn't we, Johnny?
Yeah. Plus, we had a rocket ship flying over us while we were doing it.
That's what was scary. I was more scared over the field than I was out over the ocean, Ray. I'll be honest with you.
I know. A lot of drones flying around, zipping around.
Yeah. Can we talk about the launch a little bit? A lot of people are kind of put off that it was sold on Indiegogo. A lot of people don't like those crowdfunding sites. The
first time I tried it, it went nice and smooth for me.
Like Lon says, you don't have to buy it. You know, they telling you June, and now listen, if they'd have said 2-week delivery and all of that, I mean, now if it comes the end of June and July, you don't have it. Well, I mean, I don't, you know, I can't. We don't know what's going on. You know, I'm hoping that they'll. It looks like, I know Aldrin, what's funny is Aldrin was really the only one that put a video up. They had a couple, some guys out of the country put some, but then Jax from Half Chrome, he put his about, I think they actually told him when to release it. So it was kind of strange how they did that, because I was thinking he had a different version, but he has the same version that Aldrin has. So,
hey, the other comment that I have.
So Josh is familiar with Indiegogo. Okay. Good to hear, Josh.
Yeah, I've used Indiegogo in the past too. I used it for a drone. In fact, Indiegogo is how this very show came to be.
Interesting.
Ron and I bought the Hubsan Zeno both on Indiegogo.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Way back.
How long did it take to get it?
I don't even remember, Ray.
A couple of months. It came within time frame. We got bought it, and I'm going to say in the fall, and it got here at the beginning of winter. I'm going to say we purchased it.
Yeah, it showed up at the worst possible time. That was yeah. Hey, so I got another comment that I want to make about the little V-Copter Mini. Now, Johnny and Ron, and I believe you as well, Captain Ray, you got it for that $199 deal.
Yes.
Everybody needs to manage their expectations. If you want a Mini 4 Pro, buy a Mini 4 Pro and spend the $1,100 on that kit. You spent $200 on this little drone. It's not going to have obstacle avoidance. It's not going to shoot 120 frames per second and those kind of things. So again, don't try and compare this little drone to a Mini 4 Pro because it's just that's not realistic.
Yeah, I agree.
Lauren, did you see Lauren's comment here? He has pics of the Mini. By that he means the V-Copter Mini from CES. They had a prototype back then in 2020.
They had a Mini as well.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah. And it was just static. It was just sitting on a little turntable, and it was spinning around on a little turntable. Yeah.
Morris, you brought up something though. The hover that you flew at the South Florida Drone Meetup, that thing was well built. I mean, like the little cage is metal. It's not. I mean, it could have been plastic.
It's plastic, but it's solid.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. It is plastic. Okay, but it's heavy. It's heavy. It's. I mean, it really flew good. So I was kind of excited about that, and even the big V-Copter, the original is heavy as. It's heavy as hell. I can tell you that the battery is. Yeah.
Heavy. I mean, I think the point we're all trying to make is, unlike some other third-party drone makers, the 00 robotics products have good build quality to them. Whether it's a hover product or whether it's a V-Copter, you feel a build quality that you don't get from a lot of the second-tier drone companies. A lot of the ones Marcus has reviewed in the past.
Yeah, and I see Mike's right comment. Yeah, I mean, it's probably Mike. The wording is also on there. If you look, it says built-in battery. I don't know what that terminology means. That's probably just a battery in a drone. A repair kit, yeah, it's probably. I mean, it's a screwdriver, probably.
Yeah. Hey, Captain Ray, you had a comment you were going to make. I think we walked on you. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm typing it in the chat now, but. We ended up with a Hoover Air that was donated as a giveaway prize, and we don't know who actually donated it. It just ended up on that table. And if anybody knows, please let us know so we can say thank you to them. Really.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely.
I know Steve Jeunesse, I think, won it, but that was a great drone to win.
Was it Steve? I believe Steve Jeunesse won the Avata from.
Okay. Maybe he won the Avata. I lost track, and I don't have the list. Yeah.
And let me tell you what, he was so excited about that. I want to say, we're going to get sidetracked here for just a second, but this year's giveaways, I thought they all went to people that we know and we know are going to fly those drones. It was really fun watching some of the people that got those drones get them, because they were genuinely excited. They're going to fly those drones and they're going to have fun with them. That was very. I enjoyed that.
Joe Fotoleo saying
now it came to me who won the Hoover Air, and that was my friend Joe Lee, the detective from New York City that I got involved with drones, and he had won that, or his wife, one of the two.
Yeah. Good.
Keep on talking.
But thank you, whoever donated it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Man, Ron got a stash right there.
He does. He's got a stash.
Well, you get the meetup party, but just to close out on the little V-Copter Mini here, I think a few people in the panel may have ordered that drone. Raise your hands if you ordered that little mini V-Copter. So but I think Marcus made a point. We didn't order the Mavic 4 Pro here. This is kind of a budget level drone on the same level as maybe a Mini 4K, a FIMI Mini 3, an Atom 2. This is a budget level kind of beginner drone, but as Johnny points out, it's unique. It just looks different and than anything else in the market.
It'll be the most fun you have flying. I'll guarantee it. You'll have a ball flying the little mini, and hey, like Morgan said, listen. If you want a better drone, order a better drone. Don't order $199 drone and expect a Mavic.
A Mavic 4 Pro. Yeah.
Just have fun. Just have fun flying. That's what I think. Sometimes we all miss the. I love to fly. I fly every day, and whether I record or sometimes I only have an SD card in. So just enjoy the flight experience.
If you get hired to shoot a Netflix video, don't order the V-Copter Mini or whatever. Get an Inspire or something.
Okay.
And if you want a rocket drone, hit up Rod Hanson.
Rod in Daytona.
Yeah. Did you see Ronnie's comment here? His first drone was a Hubsan Zeno Pro.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So let's move on to I guess the only topic you haven't covered, kind of an overview of the South Florida Drone Meetup. We kind of danced all around it now, but we'll go hard on it. I have a couple things I won this on the giveaway. Marcus talked about the giveaway. I won this nice I'm going to call it coffee or soda or anything type of cooling system here.
That's a nice tumbler
for this year's meetup here. Here is the lanyard. The thing that Brad makes for us or whatever, and the actual lanyard strap is provided by Pilot Institute, Greg. And Raven has his ticket in there, whatever that you needed his ticket to win your prizes. Here is some other drone guy. That's Jeremy Sticker. He did the T-shirts and a lot of gear for this year's meetup here. Here's a coaster from Brad Austin. What's Brad's channel name?
River City RVA.
There you go. Uh-oh.
Ron, did you get one of these?
I didn't get that.
Oh, you didn't?
No. And
here's giving these out.
And here is the United States Drone Society pen by Paul Brown. Came in a nice, classy looking box here.
Yeah.
Put this on your checks with and stuff.
Here's write my check at IRS. Yeah.
Here's a poker
my wife stole that
South from I guess Jeremy again, and with Fly High in Florida on the back.
Yeah.
Here's one from.
I want one of them.
I got a whole bunch of these here. I don't know who they're all from. Here's one with T-shirts on it. I got a bunch of stickers here. Here's Bob Casey.
Bob Casey.
Hey!
He's in the chat. Here's Jack Rabbits. Here's Scott sticker. Here's Skyfly Network sticker there.
Oh yeah, that's a new one.
Here's a Flying Flynn Media right here.
John Flynn.
John Flynn. Here is the South Florida Drone Meetup 3D printed wheel here. Here is CT Pirate here, drone guy stuff. I think you mentioned Mr. Gregory a little while ago, Ray.
John Gregory, yep.
John Gregory, yeah.
And here's Tony. How do you say Tony's last name?
Szyzerski.
Szyzerski.
Here's his Tropic USA sticker here. So that's just a few of the things, I was given, at the meetups. I want to thank everybody.
I see Lexus in the chat. She gave those spinners. Yeah.
No, Kevin's got one.
My grandkids confiscated mine, so
I don't think I want a spinner.
Those are neat. Those are really nice.
Hey, our friend Johnnie DroneFlyer won one of the coolest prizes that you reminded me when you showed Tony's sticker. That knife that Tony made, you won that, didn't you, Johnny?
No. Ken Hogbar won.
Ken Hogbar won. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That boy, I'll tell you what, he put a lot of work into that.
He did. That was beautiful.
Yeah, he was showing me
made knife like that.
Yeah, some of the other stuff that he made. That's pretty cool.
With it, real alligator sheath.
Yeah, made out of alligator skin.
And the other thing, Alexa already agreed to donate 200 spinners for next year. So thank you, Alexis. Yeah.
Thank you, Alexa.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, the prizes, I think we had basically, Ray, I think it was 20 prizes that deemed big prizes. And of course the two flags, that Bob Casey and Ronnie did. I mean, those were beautiful. And then of course the Air3S. We had so many great prizes. I mean, many people donated T-shirts and cups and mugs and SD cards, and I mean it was incredible. Alexis threw those in kind of. I mean that was a great giveaway, and it was an incredible event. I want to personally thank everybody who bought a poster. I think I have 4 left. If you need a poster, hit me up. Yeah, those are cool. I got one right here. Those are really nice.
Going back to New York, Johnny. Going back to New York, I think.
Marcus, you can fill that up with stickers or poker chips. I'm just saying.
I'm going to use. You know what I'm going to use it for is all the little drone stuff that we have, SD cards, cords, those kind of things, and keep them organized. That's a great one.
Those things are really. I mean, Lowe's makes one, but I'll be honest with you. I think that one may be a little heavier than the Lowe's. Those came from
Harbor Freight.
Harbor Freight. Yeah.
Didn't you say Barclay? Yeah. I thought you said Barclay.
Yeah, Barclay donated 6 of them.
Yeah.
That was Johnny. Can you
Barclay and Jenna?
Barclay and Jenna. Yeah.
Can you give a little background on the comment here? John Flynn saying I flew the sim today. Can you talk about what he means, Johnny? Because he kind of won an FPV drone at the meetup, right, or a post meetup.
Well, I don't know how it came about. We started talking about building a drone in the lobby, and of course, I had all the pieces, and my son-in-law, we ordered everything. I had a frame, and so make a long story short, just saying, I gotta add that because Joe will get on me if I don't say just saying. Now, Joe and Ken Hallbauer, Maddie, and Scotty, they kind of put it together there in the lobby. Joe, of course, actually did the build, but I gotta say, man, Ken and Maddie jumped in there and programmed it, and Scotty, and then I was laying up in the room with one night, the night before, and I'm like, man, I don't need another drone. So I said, I'm gonna give it to. I gave it to John Flynn. We all gave it to John Flynn, but so John is planning the sim. The sim is I'm not sure which one he's using. There's a couple of them. Lift off. You can go in there and practice with your controller, and actually Star RC sent me. I was just testing this. This is a nice little controller they sent. You can do this. You can practice. So yeah, that was a fun thing to do. And man, we had so much fun in the lobby, and we were out there programming it on the sidewalk, and I wanted to get Joe to tune it to John's goggles and controller. So I said, John, man, mine is packed and Joe's is packed. It's hard for me to lie, just saying. But anyway, John, he didn't bat an eye. So absolutely. So he went up and got his controller and and goggles, and So anyway, when they came back from eating, we presented him with that. But yeah, that was fun.
Nice. That's a great story.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Ron, I gotta say thank you to you. You donated a lot of drone accessories. So Ron, thank you for that. Marcus, and you donated 2 drones. We gotta say thank you again for that too.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
You can really say Sky Lee donated them. I just brought them down.
Well, you guys must have hooked me up with Sky Lee, because look what came in the mail today.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I'm thinking Johnnie and Ron are behind that. That's what I think. I get an email from Sky Lee out of the blue.
Yeah, hey, good guy, man. Makes some great products at a great price. I mean, they're not. I mean, it's just they're very affordable and a lot of fun products. We all love accessories for our drones. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Boy, look, if Ross came next year, he would beat Steve Gardner for the prize.
Yeah, he'd win the prize, wouldn't he?
Most distance traveled award. Yeah.
Ray, have we ever had anybody from down under?
I just happen to have it right here, Russ. Russ, you can win this. You can win this.
We've never had somebody from down under, Ray.
Dominic's thinking of coming next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, we had a Captain Joe called me yesterday. I was outside and we was actually putting a sprinkler system in. So he sells his Mini 3 Pro to a guy. So when he brings it to the guy's got a baby kangaroo in a car.
I saw that.
So Joe was calling me and saying, "Hey, this guy had anyway, the guy."
Is that even legal?
I don't know. I mean, I guess. Wow. So it was kind of funny.
Huh.
But I tell you what, you never know what you're gonna see when you're selling drones.
Maybe it's an American kangaroo.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a Joey. Yeah, Joey.
A Louisiana kangaroo. Well, Ray, give us your overview of how the meetup went this year.
Well, I'll tell you, again, every year, not that we worry who's going to come next year. We start planning it the week right after the meetup, but, we already have 60 people signed up for next year. So that says a lot. I think everybody had a good time, even though it was windy, we ended up with 125 plus. And, I thought everything went well. I mean, we're going to have a meetup. A conference call with the meetup committee next week, or maybe this week, and we'll kick it around, see if we can make it a little better. And we're open for suggestions from the different people. We're not going to change the location; it's going to stay there. Everything is going good there. We're staying there. And if the FPV guys or anybody wants to go to other locations, they can feel free to go, as you guys did. You came into town early and we had South Florida Drone Meetup, mini meetups. So it was just a great meetup. I think it was the best one yet, Ron.
Ray, I want to thank you for that, organizing that one at Peanut Island, seeing that cruise ship come in. I think we all enjoyed that one, didn't we, Johnnie?
That was I love that. That was a great morning, and the bunker and the Peanut Island and the cruise ship coming in.
And luckily,
I went kayaking to Peanut Island today.
We'll have to do that next year, Ray.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a plan. Definitely.
But the nice thing about that meetup too, that was before the wind. Remember that was the morning without the wind blowing like crazy. Right.
Yeah, no, that was a beautiful morning. It really was.
Yeah, but you know what? We put the Air 3S up. I mean, it was windy, but you know what? It did just fine that morning. So
the more when we flew the Juneau Pier, that was very windy as well. But the Air 3S, it was a monster. It did okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
I just wish it was like home though. The drone may do good now, but Ron doesn't like standing out in that wind for extended length of time. Back home, that's like you jump in the car and fly the drone.
Well, I'll tell you what I liked about that day at the Juneau Pier was afterwards, Captain Ray took us to Berry Fresh, and we had a good breakfast there. Yeah,
that's a nice restaurant. That's my new favorite breakfast place.
Well, and that waitress was a hero. She was. She organized it, man. She got everything together and got us all taken care of. She was amazing.
Ray, we had one to the earlier one too. We went to the one.
Steve Barnett's in here, Ray.
I know. I saw him. He checked in earlier. How you doing, Steve? And I got to say, Steve, he really, really helped me a lot giving out the raffle tickets, signing in the people. He did give me a break every once in a while. I would sneak away for 5 minutes, and he took care of it. So I got to say thank you to Steve, really.
I saw a comment a few minutes ago. You probably know this, Johnny, where Joe Fotolia, he had the propless drone this year.
Yeah, well, he built a $500 drone and can save $2.95. I mean, Joe's he is Italian, just saying, he saved a few bucks. No, he was so excited to fly. I wasn't out there actually, but somebody said Joe set the drone on the ground, cranked it up, and he forgot to put the props on. But hey, that's just how it is when you're excited. He was definitely, when he got off the plane, he was he was ready to fly. I can tell you that. And he did some flying out at Dolman Park that day, and we had a
with the props on.
He did with the props on, yeah, sure did. No, that was a great.
It's all about having fun, all about having a good time, camaraderie. Talking drones, talking other things, but it's a great time. It really
Look, Joe said Buckeye made me aware I wasn't going anywhere.
No, I'll tell you what, if you can go early, I mean, I know, hey, I guess I'm fortunate enough to be retired, of course, all of us here, but, if you can get there, I mean, if you got there Saturday morning, you'd have a great time, but if you can get there a day early or a couple of days early, that's what it's about, hanging out at the hotel, and we flew I know Scott and I, we got up every morning because we got there Tuesday, and, man, we had a great time flying, and, and guys, it's just a camaraderie.
And Rick's talking about the PA barbecue, Park Avenue barbecue place. How great that is.
That's the official eating spot for the meetup, right, Johnny?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's great. A great little place. Easy to get to. We walked to it. We drove to it. I mean, but it's a great place. I mean, there's a lot of great food there. I tell you what, going to die before you go to South Florida Drone Meetup. I'll tell you that.
Ron and Susan and Sarah and I, we got our favorite place in Jensen Beach as well, don't we? Conchi Joe's.
Conchi Joe's out by the water.
Yeah. Okay, Conchi Joe's. I haven't ate there in years, Marcus. You're going to inspire me to go there.
And guess what, Ray? We've returned to a fly spot this year. Marcus, myself,
Jay,
and Michael all took off from there at sunset. And
there were 4 Air 3S's that took off at the same time, and
most of us flew over to the meetup.
Where'd you take off? Right from the parking lot? The parking lot?
We went across the street, Captain Ray, and there's a section of sidewalk, a dead end section of sidewalk that was wide and perfect. Yeah,
and you could easily.
Steve, we'll have to go there, Steve.
Yeah, Ronnie and them went to that Italian place.
Meetup spot from there, Ray.
Yeah.
Joe said he lost 6 pounds. I don't know about that, Joe. Man, we did.
Really? 6 pounds.
Maybe he couldn't find the Park Avenue diner.
He must have not got the animal crackers. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or the plastic ducks that my wife thought was candy.
Hey. No, I can see people.
I don't know where those 400 ducks came from.
I tell you, give that man a 3D printer, and anything happens.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I had about 100 left, and I didn't dump them, but I threw them in Scotty's bag as I was fixing to leave that morning.
Josh is saying about he like to get there Thursday at the latest. I think, Ray, you could agree too. The earlier you can get there, the better, right? Because
definitely, no doubt about it.
Some of our best fly events were before the meetup. We all had a good time Wednesday night at the at Du Bois Park Sunset meetup, right? We had a good crowd out there.
Yeah,
Mark.
we did.
Yeah, it is. The Boys Park is great. Actually, we're going there in the morning.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. We're going to Juno Beach Pier in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, you missed that flight, but we had a good crew there, and it was a beautiful sunset that night, wasn't it, Johnny?
It was beautiful. I'll tell you what, that was a beautiful afternoon, and man, the lighthouse is a great subject. You got the boats, you got it's a nice shot from there. And Ron, we went Tuesday night? We flew right from the was that Wednesday? I don't even know.
Yeah, it was It was Tuesday, the first night you guys were in town.
Yeah, we flew from a restaurant there.
We flew from a secret spot, didn't we, Johnny? Ray didn't even know about this.
Yeah, he sure don't. No, this a private. It took off in the back of the truck.
From a private parking lot.
Both lanes on US 1 are now open, guys. Both lanes in each
direction.
Yeah. But I heard it was closed down for a day or so when they were doing the
over the weekend. Yeah, they closed it down over the weekend, but it opened up again today, and they're both northbound and southbound lanes are open. 2 lanes in each direction.
Yay. Hey,
you know, not long when Sarah and I were on our way to Stewart, not long after I got over the top of that bridge, I see a white Hyundai off in the distance. And I'm thinking, I think I know who that is. And I zigzagged through traffic and I got caught up and I got right next to Captain Ray. And sure enough, Sarah's yelling at me, "That's Captain Ray, that's Captain Ray." So I hit the horn a couple times.
Yeah, that's funny.
Hey, did you see Johnny? Ronnie's recommended another spot here. He says there's an Italian restaurant right next to the
and actually, they went, him and his wife, and then Tom Dowling ordered it at the hotel, and they delivered it, and it looked really. We had just eaten, but I tell you what, it looked really good.
Huh?
What's the name of it?
Yeah, that's where
the little Italian place.
The little Italian place. Okay.
Ronnie says Conti Joe's is delicious too, so he seconds it there.
Yeah.
We didn't see you there that night, Ronnie.
Yeah.
So Johnny, any overall thoughts on the meetup this year?
No, you know what, the guys, it's great. I mean, I hate to say it, to me, it's been the same since the very first one I attended. They've all been great, and of course, like Ray said, if you got any comments, I mean, I don't really know what would make it any better. I mean, it's just about the people. The event is just an event. The people make the event. I mean, that's it's a drone meetup, exactly. And I mean, it could be a meetup even if you left your drones at home. But it's an incredible event.
And there was so many new people too came this year. A lot more, and like Tom from Vegas, and Josh, from Pennsylvania, and Jason Crowder from the west coast of Florida. We get to start naming names, and we had quite a few. Yeah.
I mean, the Sticks Billiard Hall that night. I mean, Bill and them did an incredible job. Bill, I know Bill wasn't feeling that great. He streamed that thing Saturday. He went and got pizza. I mean, he brought ice. I mean, he does so much. He
does a lot.
He does a lot more than, I mean, I hate to say people, I mean, he's just a trooper. I mean, he got in his truck and got the pizza. Like I say, we had 7-8 cases of water. I mean, kept them iced down, and man.
Well, let's say it this way, Johnny. Bill Renee's our unsung hero.
Brad?
Yeah.
We were talking about you earlier, Brad.
But yeah, so many people. It just comes together. I mean, it's an easy event. It seems easy, but there is a lot of work to it. I mean, putting those prizes together. I know. I had to even get on Ray. He was pulling names fast, man. I was throwing stuff. I was trying to pull.
Yeah, I had to slow down. Yep. No, the names. That's the way to go. Put the names on the tickets.
Yeah, I like the fast pace. And look, Steve Jeanette says he's coming in on Tuesday next year, so he's going to be in for some of the pre-meetup events.
All right, cool, Steve.
And Ray, there's no penalty for coming early, right? I was there in February. There's no downside to being early. Right?
I know. Yeah, I hope you get that same condo, Ron. I really do.
Yeah, we hope we do too. And I mean, this is way early, but when we went down when Al hosted that meetup at the Hillsborough Lighthouse, I really enjoyed that event too.
Yeah, and then what's the other little park, Ron? We went right by your house, right where you were staying. What's the name of that little park? That was a neat to fly.
Oh, Carlin Park.
Yeah.
That's right. Johnny's first time at Carlin, right?
Yeah. Johnny never been to Carlin Park?
No.
Oh, man.
That's you guys been having all these spots. That little gazebo down there, that's our spot.
Yeah, we even had a guy. We had a guy in the pictures we didn't even know. He was photobombing our pictures,
I think we sold him a Neo, Johnny.
Yeah.
I think we sold that man a Neo.
We were having fun.
And they have concerts there too in Carlin Park.
Yeah, they had that kind of what do you call it, like
stage.
That circus delay thing there, but it left right before we got there. Well, I did want to say, I wanted to bring this up earlier. You go to a meetup like this and you look for certain drones. And I think the 2 drones that I saw the most frequently at the meetup were the Air 3S and the Neo. I saw those 2 drones all over the place.
Yep.
Did you guys see a lot of those drones too, Ray and Johnny?
Oh, absolutely. And somebody went and bought a Neo, I think that day.
Right afterwards. Yeah, John Gregory, as soon as he got back, he bought one. Yeah,
Wow.
Well, we gave 3 away, so yeah.
But some drones I did not see that I was hoping. Well, I did see one drone I was hoping to see. Marcus brought the Hover, the X1 Pro. So my first time seeing that is going to see. But guess what drone I did not see there? I did not see the DJI Flip.
Yeah, Tom had it.
Tom Dowling had one.
Tom had one. Tom.
I never saw him fly it.
Yeah, we had it out in the parking lot a couple days.
I never saw it. That he's the only one that had a flip.
I think so. As far as I know, he's the only one that had the flip.
I'm telling you, that flip is an underrated drone. Just telling you, people.
Why don't you think we saw more of it then, Marcus?
Oh, Josh said he had his. I don't
Josh had the flip too. Oh, I didn't know you had one, Josh. Yeah,
I didn't remember seeing that.
He said he had a Dolman.
Yeah.
I was at Dolman the whole time.
Okay, you were flying at a Dolman. Okay, I didn't realize that. Maybe
it's not easy to see, or. And
I have to say, Dolman Park was the best one yet too. So many people.
Now, Ray, talk a little bit. We made innuendo about this, but talk a little bit about Hot Rod Daytona and his little Hot Rod FPV drone. What was the story in that thing? That drone. He called a top secret drone. Said did 200 miles per hour.
Well,
that was incredible. I thought that drone was incredible. Really, I was wondering how it was going to fly. And it took a couple of attempts. But once he got it up there, man, it zipped around.
It did, yeah.
It was actually scary. It was actually scary for me.
Yeah, I think
Rod said he never even gave it full throttle.
Right. I think he had it on a 6S, but he also had an 8S battery he could have flew it on. But yeah, it was ripping. We were down there.
Did you ever see anything like that before, Johnny?
No, I've never seen that. I've seen that the red it's kind of like
if the flip.
Google the Red Bull drone. It's kind of similar to the Red Bull. Yeah, the flip was neat.
Joe can confirm that he saw Tom's. Tom didn't want to show it to me, I guess.
Did you bring that one, Marcus, or no?
I didn't. Captain Ray, it was tough because we did that cruise. I would have brought more drones, but I would have had to tote them around so.
Yeah. Hey, Rick Williamson making it. And, Rick, one thing I will say about that, when I saw a kid, I think we had 2 kids come up, or the dads let them walk up when they called their name for a prize. I actually gave them those 2 drones that Marcus had to those, So,
nice.
Try to get those drones in those kids' hands,
Yeah. I think we got
I want to shout out Bob Casey here. But Bob posted his video. I saw Bob's video of the Sporting on the meetup. It's a good little video. Please go over there and check that out. I think you'll enjoy Bob Casey's video. And Bob had to leave early because he had an emergency in Kentucky. There was some flooding happening while he was going. But
he took off a day early. Sure did.
No damage, I hope, Bob.
Yeah. I think everything was okay, but I think they had some flooding getting to his house. But his house was I think he had 1 tree down, he said so.
I like that idea, Rick. I like that idea. Yeah. You're in charge of that. Here. You can collect all that money. You're in charge of that.
It is an interesting idea. So if you think about what's that drone that you had, Johnny? I've got one back here, the little $20.
I got a couple of them. Well, the STX or whatever.
I can't. It's just a little inside drone. You wouldn't want to fly it outside.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, for a kid, to introduce him to drones, and even as an adult, that thing is a lot of fun to fly.
Oh, like this one right here. I mean, this is like the top-notch drone. You can't even buy these anymore. But a kid will have a blast with this. Or Potenzic.
How can you say that with a straight face, Johnny?
Hey, a bunch of little Potenzics. Those are fun to fly.
They are.
$29.99, right?
He would buy the flip if he could fly it with his N3 goggles. And Ray, I heard Bob wasn't feeling well either. I think Bob came down with some sickness. Bob Dempsey.
I don't know. I didn't hear that. I didn't know about Bob. Okay.
Yeah.
I lost track. I was keeping a list, but then I stopped keeping the list. Who's sick and their wives got sick. Yeah. You know, and you feel bad.
Skyfly Network says the Flip was cool, but he was really impressed with the Neo.
Yes. The Neo is a great drone.
Yeah, Jeremy.
You put a little bit time in with the Neo, didn't you?
Okay, so let me make a point about why I think this thing gets a little bit of, doesn't get as much respect as it should. So 2 things. They named it the Flip. I think people expected it to be a Neo with a better camera. And the fact that you can't fly FPV with this, I think put a lot of people off. And I think that's, particularly with the name Flip, everybody was thinking that, hey, it was going to be FPV as well, and it is not.
Yeah, they misnamed it.
I agree. Yeah. They should have named it something else.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's not a cheap drone, though, right, Marcus? How much is that drone?
$439 for the basic kit. That's why I'm saying it's such a bargain. It has the same camera as the Mini 4 Pro, and it does it does quick shots, it does master shots, it does panoramas. Plus, on top of all that, you get all the autonomous features. You can take this thing out without a controller. It'll follow you. It'll do dronies. It'll do orbits and helix and all those kind of moves without even having a controller. So it just packs a lot of punch for $439.
Brad Austin saying that he never tested positive for the COVID, but his silencer was kicking his butt, though. So he's another one to put in the list, Ray.
Yeah, you can get the Flip on Amazon, too. It is available. So.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Yeah.
Everybody who's still sick, get well soon. God bless. Really.
And next year's meetup, we'll be passing out masks.
Hand sanitizer will be available for those who don't bring it. A lot of people have their own personal hand sanitizer, but we'll have it. We're going to have extra rolls of toilet paper, too. That was one of the first things that was brought to my attention.
Yeah, I heard somebody telling Ray. I heard somebody telling Ray.
There's no toilet paper in the men's room.
Well, that's not good.
Well, they had some palm trees and coconut.
There you go.
Okay, let's change that subject.
Alaska is saying that people hating on YouTube videos, hating on the Flip, or whatever. But I think it's back to Marcus's point. It didn't do the FPV like the Neo did, and it costs like twice as much as the Neo. So I think that hurt it. You know
what? I think you just got to have the knowledge before you buy it. Look,
read,
buy the drone that you want it to do. I mean, you can get a drone that flips.
Hey, here's I got to put this comment up. Gary.
Gary said they were going to have a Spectre there too. I think Josh said he was going to have a Spectre there, and he was going to show it.
The clone, the Spectre.
And the thing is, you never know it because it looks just like a DJI drone, so you'd never know.
Right.
Yeah. Marcus, I think where DJI made their mistake is, what if they would have released the Flip first, like back in the fall, and put the Neo out in January? I think if they'd have reversed the order, it may have helped the Flip.
Yeah, well, it might have, but then you'd also get people complaining about the camera on the Neo. Then they'd come unglued. Yeah.
Well,
they had a better camera.
They still complain about that camera, but they still buy it though.
They do, and it is. You know what? Both of those drones have their place, and I salute DJI for the way they fill every niche. They got a drone for everybody. But again, I'm going to say, if you have a Mini 4 Pro desire, but you've got a Neo budget, buy that Flip because you'll get that Mini 4 Pro camera and a lot of the features for a lot less.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, that's absolutely.
But you better save up all your pennies now for the Mavic 4 Pro with the tariff.
Well, I think if somebody is their budget won't only let them get a flip. I don't think they're in the same. They wouldn't be in the territory for the Mavic 4
We know
Pro.
how that is. Most people that have the Neos and the Flips aren't people that's their only drone. That's people that have every drone on DJI's line, and they have that too.
So Tom makes a good point there. I wish, I will say this. I wish even the Neo had remote ID built into it. I think they should put remote ID in everything.
So the Flip is only for hobbyist pilots.
Well,
unless they want to put on the module.
Unless they want to put a module on there, right?
Yeah.
Did anybody win the United States Drone Society mugs? Paul donated 4. I think Gary donated 2. I donated 1. But these are nice little mugs. They really are. Thank you again, Paul and Gary.
Yeah, nice looking mug. So we're almost at the hour and a half mark here, so we're going to start to wrap up. Johnny, is there a Fly for Fun show this week?
No Fly for Fun show this week. No. Next Wednesday night we'll have Ryan LaTorriette on, and then Dr. Mario Napa will be on with him.
I met him.
Mario will give us an update. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the villages. He got the assist letter, but they now have backed off. They got so much flack from
they gave up.
Oh, that's him that all that fuss is about?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's going to be on. He's going to be on in 2 weeks.
And kind of go over that story, but he actually was flying. I think Ray put a video up yesterday or the day before. He went right back to flying. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did. He did.
So they caught a lot of. I mean, legally he wasn't doing anything wrong, and his, I don't want to tell the story, but he was not going to fight it. Bottom line, and so anyway, it's a happy ending. I'm
glad that it worked out in their favor.
Yeah.
Ray, you have a show this week on Thursday?
Yeah. Thursday night, I have Jean Costello on.
Oh,
She's
wow.
a drone pilot in Tennessee. Her drone was shot out of the sky.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the police ended up recovering it in water, and they ended up, interviewing the suspect, and he admitted shooting it out of the sky. But there haven't been any criminal charges yet. The guy hasn't been arrested, but we'll see what happens, And I told Gene, reported yourself to the FAA, really.
As far as my training, that's a federal offense, right, Ray?
Yes, it is. It's a serious federal offense. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to hear our story.
Yep.
So Ron, with that kind of in mind, things that we're seeing with people shooting drones out of the air, I just was looking at something that Vic Moss just posted. Okay. Senator Mike Lee in Utah is trying to in the Senate is trying to pass a bill that would remove the first 200 feet of airspace from the FAA's control and give it to state, local, and tribal authorities. So that would be bad for all of us.
That ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Well,
I put money on that.
Ryan Laureate know about that.
Well, I'm sure he does. But here's the point that I'm trying to make: is we all need to stay vigilant. And if you live in Utah or something, and he's your senator, write him. And maybe we should all put a note into our senators saying, "Hey, that's not how it should be." So
I mean, what if a helicopter comes below 200 feet? Are they going to do? What are they going to do to him?
Happened to us in Puerto Rico. Ask Bob Dempsey about that. We were at Mar Chiquita. There was a helicopter.
What happened?
Helicopter came by. Well, several of us.
Helicopter.
Low flying tourist helicopter. Wow. And boy, we all punched straight down. We all got about 50 feet or less off the ground, and boom, he was right over the top. Now, fortunately, we had most of us were flying the Air 3S with ADS-B, and that gave us our first warning, manned aircraft, and boy, we were all hard on the downstick. But that's Ron. The reason I say that is
nobody ever calls the police on a low flying helicopter.
Well, it's not illegal. There's guidance that they're supposed to be above 400 feet.
Yeah. Well, we're not illegal. We're not illegal either, but they call on us.
Well, I get your point, Ron.
Yeah,
you make a good point, but I'm just saying that I think you make a good point about low flying.
I have to say, I complained about low flying helicopters. I did.
And where did it get you, Ray?
They changed the flight path on Long Island.
Oh, really?
And it was
really?
It was changed last summer.
Good.
And they're supposed to stay out over the Long Island Sound, go further east, and then cut in. But anyway, it didn't do any good. I complained, didn't do any good.
On that subject, Ron and I were at Vero Beach at a little park there, and Susan saw it first. Susan was our visual observer. Ron and I were both flying, and here comes an aircraft. I'm telling you, it was a little airplane. He wasn't 20 feet off the surf. He was right down in the weeds, and she yelled it out to us. And, we were both way away from where he was at, but nonetheless, he was hauling the mail right over the surface of the water.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The first time that happened to me with a low-flying helicopter was out in California on the Pacific Ocean coast. Because you're up on a bluff and you're flying, and those helicopters are right there. They're right there. But you can hear them. And when I hear them, I bring my drone down. I get close to me.
I would drop that drone right in the drink if I thought it was a problem. But but ADS-B, I'm telling you, I really applaud DJI for putting ADS-B on these drones because
I applaud more manned aircraft having it now than they used to.
Right.
It's sad. I mean, it's tragic, but there's been basically a whole bunch of manned aircraft incidents again, Marcus, over the past week.
Yeah,
where people have died in helicopters. So it's tragic, but just making the point that they worry so much about drones, but yet there's other problems in the air.
We're just an easy target.
He encountered a helicopter at 60 feet.
Yeah, wow. Bill, that's crazy.
Marcus, the law you just stated that anything above 200 or below 200, they could just might as well make it 50 feet. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
if something like that passes, and I agree with Ray, I don't think the chances are much.
Right.
However, it's still they're gonna try and push it through. If it did, it would effectively end our hobby.
Absolutely, yeah.
You wouldn't.
I mean, what's next? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can't take off. I mean, so it's we're constantly battling. It seems like, and we've been talking about it for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Look, Gary said he's crop dusters at 15 feet.
Gary, I grew up on a farm, and I agree, but that's where common sense rules the day. In fact, there are places out here I fly that there's farm areas and stuff. And you just stay. If I hear a crop duster, I just stay away from that area. I don't put the drone up at all.
Yeah, and that.
Yeah. All right. I think we kind of hashed everything out tonight. Did we miss anything, Marcus? Or we cover a lot of topics?
I think we covered a lot of ground tonight.
Okay. Yep. I want to thank our special guests, Captain Ray and Johnnie DroneFlyer, for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. And I get DeMarco's check, right?
You do. Well, it's going to be split between you and Captain Ray.
We got to split it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're on a limited budget.
DeMarco will send it via the same shipping system that Marcus uses for his t-shirt.
Yeah, there you go. Irish ship.
Brad's having withdrawals from the South Florida Drone Meetup.
Yeah.
Well, we could always fake one, right?
I'll tell you, if I had my way, we'd do something like this every other week. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe we could do a virtual one.
Yeah. Well,
don't forget, you got the Vegas second annual in November.
Coming up
with
Tom
and
right?
Bob Dempsey, so that'll be here before you know it.
And there's a few of us that are going to Spain for the Spanish drone seekers.
Are you going to go to that, Marcus? You're going?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
When
Anybody else going to do it?
It's the last week of September.
Jackie's going to it, Ray.
Jackie's going to
you know what? Gary, Brad Ariels, he's going. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Gary's going to that one. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Tom's got the dates up here.
That's for the Las Vegas meetup. Yeah.
Yes. Right. Okay. Yep. Are they charging for the Spain meetup, Marcus? Do you know? Are they charging? No.
It's gonna be very.
I like free. I like free.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to be just kind of a fly-in. In other words, they'll come in and we'll have places that we'll meet to fly. And of course, you've seen the videos from. They got some really cool beautiful places to fly.
Yeah.
And then we'll have dinner afterwards. Very, very informal.
And if I can make it over there, maybe we could get Sean Matthews' autograph.
Get Sean the drone. Sure, you absolutely could. Yeah.
Hey, ready to see Josh is talking about having a Northeast U.S. drone meetup this fall.
I heard a little bit about that. Yeah, I did. I heard about it. Yep.
Marcus, JAA.
Marcus, our new friend, JAA. Help me. I knew his name earlier.
You need Joseph.
Joseph.
That's Joseph.
Get info on the Spain drone meetup.
That would be on the
Drone Seekers International.
Go to the Drone Seekers International Facebook page
and tell them Ron and Marcus sent you.
There you go. Yeah.
So, all right, folks, that is it tonight. Don't forget Ray's show on Thursday, and of course, Bill the Drone Review will be on tomorrow night. Bill Thomas will be on Wednesday night, and probably a bunch of other good shows I don't have time to mention, but watch them. Watch all you can, and we'll see you back here next Monday night.
All right, guys.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting.